Alright guys, this is JOATD. Today I'm going to show you how to clean a WeedEater carburetor. Alright, if you're having any problems with your WeedEater starting or stalling out, things like that, most of the time it's the carburetor. This WeedEater right here is a Craftsman WS210. It's a 2-cycle 25cc WeedEater. All right, so let's go ahead and remove the carburetor from the WeedEater. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take off this cover for the air filter here. It has the air filter right here. That's the actual cover for it. You're going to remove that. Put that off to the side. You're going to get a Torx 25. Right here's a Torx 25. And that's going to take off this bracket that holds the cover. All right, now take out the 2 screws. Now, this right here is the throttle cable. It's just in here, just like that. It's just a shaped like an L. It's an angle. You just slide it in, just pull it out or whatever. You're gonna have 2 fuel lines that go from the fuel tank to the actual carburetor here. You're going to take both of those loose. You're going to get a little gas spillage, but it's okay. Sometimes you have to get a pair of pliers to take it loose. Just get you a pair of needle nose pliers. Kind of just grab it and twist it just a little bit. Try not to puncture it. It should just pull off after that. There you go. So you got both of them off. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is get you a Phillip head screwdriver. And you're going to take out the retaining screws here for the primer bulb. You can see that this primer bulb is like full of gas. You can actually just press this a couple times and hold it over a bucket just like this and kind of just get that gas out. All right, so we're going to take out these retaining screws here. Okay, this right here is the primer bulb, and this right here is the retainer plate. Okay, right here, this is the primer base. All right, and this right here is the diaphragm within it. You're going to take the diaphragm off. Right here, that's the diaphragm. And then this right here is just a gasket. I'm gonna take this off. Try to be careful and not tear it. Right here. All right, so you're gonna set this off to the side. Next thing you're gonna do is remove the retaining screws on the bottom of the carburetor. Should be 4 of them. Just take those loose. this plate right here is called the metering diaphragm cover. That's what that is, metering diaphragm cover. Gonna take that off. Right here is the diaphragm. Just gonna pull this off. Like I said, try to take it off without tearing it. Sometimes it's kind of hard, but it should come off. There you go. I'll put this off to the side. Okay, next thing you're gonna do is remove, right here you have a Phillip head screw right here. That's the retaining screw for the needle, the valve level. We're gonna take that out. Excuse me. All right, so we'll get this Phillip head screw, take the screw out, try to be careful with it. There you go. I'll take that loose. See that? As soon as you take this screw loose, I'll take it out, put it right here. Now you're gonna get 4 pieces. You're gonna get right here, this is the, you can see that this is the meter, the valve lever. That's what this is. It's kind of hard to see, but this is the valve lever. All right, put that off to the side. This right here is the needle. Just a little small needle right here. And then you're gonna have a spring in here also. So this is the spring. Put that off to the side. All right. Now, right here is the screen. You wanna make sure you clean that. Every port on the carburetor you wanna spray out. Spray out everything. Every port, everything. Okay? Let's go ahead and do that. I got me a little bucket right here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray this thing out. Okay? Get you some carburetor cleaner. You're gonna just spray this bad boy out. I like to get all the dirt off of it too. So any dirt you see on it, just go ahead and spray the whole thing off and get the dirt off. When you spray this fence here, don't spray, you spray it, but don't spray it too hard because it'll actually come out of there. Okay, so make sure you don't lose it. All right. Once you get it clean, you're gonna spray it out with air. I already got my compressor hooked up, and we're gonna spray this out. Just spray it out with air. Kind of keep your hand over this grate right here where the vent is. Kind of cover that hole, because when you spray this way right here, it may push that out. So like as soon as you spray right here where the needle goes, it might push out the little grade right here, this little vents here. I know it's kind of hard to see, but so we're gonna go ahead and spray the whole thing out. I'm gonna start with this side first. That should be good enough. Set that off to the side. We're gonna individually kind of spray some of this stuff off just to get the dirt off of it. I'm gonna take this retainer plate here and just clean it up. You can see it has dirt all over it, so we're gonna clean that. Put that off to the side. This right here again, this is the primer base. We're gonna clean that off. It has little ports in here too. You wanna clean these ports out. Port right here, goes straight out. Port back here. One right here. You wanna spray those out. I like to put a little air on it. Clean that. Just like that. All right, we're gonna clean off this metering diaphragm here. We're gonna clean off this diaphragm here that goes under the metering diaphragm. Clean it off. Clean off this gasket here. This is the top diaphragm. I'm gonna clean this off. Clean that off. I'm gonna clean off the needle. Valve lever. Now with this valve lever, this little bar right here, it'll actually come out. Okay, so don't lose that. It'll come out, so try to keep up with it. I'm just cleaning it out right now. All right, go ahead and clean the primer bulb out too. All right, so all of that's clean. You can look in here and see all that dirt. See all that dirt in there? All that came out of the carburetor. All right, I'm gonna start putting the carburetor back together. All right, I'm gonna start with the bottom first, okay? First thing you're gonna do is take your needle and drop your needle right here in that hole, that small hole right there. Drop the needle in there so it's in there. This is a little difficult, but you get the spring. The spring goes right here. See if I can focus it. Spring goes right here in this little circle right there. Just like that. Okay. Now, what you got to do is you got to take this valve lever and you got to put it up under the needle. But when you put it under the needle, this little point right here needs to go over top of the spring. So the spring goes here, and then this part right here, you can see that goes under the needle. I'll pour it out so that you can see what I'm saying. This needle right here, you have to hook it just like that. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna put it in first. And needle in first. All right, got the needle in. Get the spring in. Just like that. Then take this and set it. This is the hardest part, but you'll get it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right over top of it and under this pin. And there it goes. See, I got it on there. And then go ahead and get your retainer screw here. Put it down in there, right beside it, and tighten it down. Try not to over tighten it. There you go. Just like that. And as you can see that? You want it to be able to do this. That spring is right up under this dot right here. And it's pulling the needle up and down. That's how it's supposed to function. Okay? Now you're going to get this diaphragm here. And you're going to put it right over top. Now, the metal part with the circle goes towards the valve lever and needle, and if you look at it, it's 4 holes in it, but then it's like this little baby hole right here. That little baby hole goes towards this hole right here, so it goes in where the adjustments are. This bottom part goes towards the adjustments. I'm gonna blow this off one more time. It has a little dust on it. All right. So again, just like that. That's how it goes on. Okay. All right. So the metering diaphragm right here, it goes right on top of it, just like that. See that? Then you're going to put the screws in. I go ahead and I put all 4 of them in by hand. That, and tighten them all down. I go in a star pattern. I tighten everything down like that. One here, then go at an angle. One there. Just like that. So the bottom half is done. Now we're going to move on to the top. Alright guys, so we're going to move on to the primer base, and you're going to get the gasket. You're going to put the gasket on. So it actually goes, let's see, like that. I mean, it's like a design on it. You can tell how it goes. You can see that. See how it's like a square right here, and then there's a square right there, and then it's like a odd shape here, and there's an odd shape there. You can kind of tell how it goes. See, just like that. All right. The next thing is going to be this diaphragm, and it goes on the same way. Same way. See that? It's if you see it, it's rounded right here. It's rounded right there. That's how it goes on. Just like that. So we got the diaphragm on. You're gonna put them together. You don't even have to move this out of the way. It just goes together. Just put it together just like that. See that? So it went right on. Alright, sit that down. You're gonna get this retaining plate and the primer bulb. Put the primer bulb through the retaining plate. You can tell which side is which. This side is flatter than this side is round. This is the top of it. The flatter side goes towards this primer base right here. So put it in from the flat side up to the round side. Okay. Now this primer bulb goes on here a specific way. Okay, you can't put it on like this. It won't go. The holes don't line up. So you put it on where the holes actually line up. See how it's lining up? And you go ahead and get your Phillip head screws, drop them in, and tighten those down. Just like that. I know you guys can hear the rain. It's raining outside, but I had to open the garage because it's fumes in here from the carburetor spray. So see that? And make sure that the primer bulb works. This top part right here is where the primer pushes air into the tank. So if you put your hand over this, you hear that? They'll let you know that it's actually holding air like it's supposed to. All right. So the carburetor is basically put all back together. It's good. Now what you're gonna do is, okay, so to put the carburetor back onto the WeedEater, what you have to do is, we're going to kind of pull this closer so you can see. All right. You have two fuel lines. You have one that's closest to you and to the top here. Okay, this gas tank top. The one that's closest to the gas tank top is where the air gets pushed into the actual tank. So this goes to the primer bulb. And this right here is the filter. When it pushes air into the tank fills up with air and it forces the gas into the filter that pushes gas into this hose right here that goes into the carburetor. Okay, which is the hose that's closest to the WeedEater itself. Okay, so when you go to put this back on, it goes this way right here. This is the way it goes. This the set screws are facing up. Okay, so it goes on at an angle like this. So what you do is, like I said, the one that's closest to the tank top goes to the primer bulb, which is this top one right here, right? Goes to the top. And then the one that has the filter on it, which is closest to the WeedEater itself, goes on the bottom one, which is to put gas into the carburetor. So let's go ahead and connect them. Goes on the bottom. This one goes on the top. Okay, so both of them are on. Like I said, it goes at an angle like this. The first thing you're going to do is go ahead and put the throttle cable back in, just like that. and then line it up with the 2 holes on it. Now you have to put this bracket on first. So you put the bracket on. I like to take a screw and put a screw right through, put it all the way through until it goes to the body of the WeedEater. That lets me know that it's where it's supposed to be. See, it's holding it on. And then you just line the second one up. Just like that. And line it up to the body. Just like that. There you go. So you got both of them in, right? And I'm gonna use my drill, but I'm gonna turn it down to 2. It's on 2. It's not on drill. All right. So I'm gonna tighten them down. Tighten the top one down. So they're tightened down, and then I'm gonna give them a turn just to make sure everything's kind of snug. Just like that. Just make sure they're snug. All right, so everything's snug together. And you want to clean this out too. As you can see, it's a lot of dirt in here. Look at all this dirt. See all that? So you want to clean this out too. So technically, I'm just gonna take my bowl here and just spray all this dirt out of here. You don't want dirt in here. Yeah, that's a lot of dirt. And after you get all the dirt out, go ahead and hit it with some air. See how clean it is now? And you can blow some of this dirt off of here too. I wouldn't blow it towards the carburetor, but you know, just kind of blow this dirt off. Just like that. Get that clean. And then just put it, it just goes around this part right here. Doesn't matter which way you put it in there, it just goes around it. Just put it around it just like that. See that? That's all. Alright. Look at all that dirt in there. That's a lot of dirt in there. All that came out of the carburetor and just the cover right here, the air filter cover. Look at all that. That's a lot of dirt. Alright. So this cover just goes in like this at an angle, kind of just pops on. Just like that. And that's it. And that's it. That's how you clean a carburetor on a WeedEater. Now, I have a short that shows you how to start a WeedEater, but let's see if it has gas in it. Yeah, it still has gas in it. What you do is you put it on 1 and you press this primer bulb 10 times until gas fills into this primer bulb slowly. 2. So that's 10 times. What you're doing is sucking the gas out of the tank and pushing fuel into the carburetor. Okay, you can see that there's gas in this bubble now, so everything's working, nothing's leaking. Okay, so we have it all set up, and see. I'm gonna do this the easy way. Instead of pulling this and shaking everything, I'm gonna show you guys the tool I have. All right, so this right here is a jump start engine starter. A lot of weed eaters have a spot on the back right here where it says electric start. See that? And what you do is you take this bad boy and you put it right here in the back, right there, and all you do is press the button. So we're gonna put this closer here, press the button. You heard that? Got it on 1, we're gonna switch it to 2. Do it again. So it's basically running. Go ahead and switch it to 3. Ready? There you go. And guys, that is how you clean a carburetor, start a weed eater with the jump start. This is JOATD, and I'm out. Guys, please check the description areas of all of my videos. It's a lot of helpful links in there. It'll be Amazon links to where I get like a lot of my tools. You know, a lot of my Milwaukee drills and stuff like that. Just check them out. All right, guys. Have a good one.